The materials you'll need to sew on a button is a needle, thread, the button itself, any color, be creative, material. This could be your jeans that need to be, a button need to be resewn, a jacket, or anything. Whatever material you like to choose. I've just chose this piece of scrap material today. And also a pair of scissors. To get started, you need to thread your needle with your string. Any of these materials can be picked up at any large boxed stores, any fabric stores or anything like that. Fairly inexpensive. So what I'm doing is to thread your needle, to get started, you need to tie a knot at the end of your thread. I am using both double pieces for sturdybility. And what I'm doing, I'm just rolling it through my fingers, wrapping it around my fingers, and then rolling it and catching that knot at the end and pulling it taut. I'm doing it one more time here, making sure that I have a fairly large knot at the end. This is almost on the larger side. You can even go smaller if you choose to do so. Okay, so on your placement, you need to determine where you would like to place your button. It could be anywhere. So something to keep in mind if you are doing a coat, you want to make sure that you take in consideration of where the button needs to lay. So in this case, the button needs to be laid right in line with the other buttons, as well as the distance between the edge of the garment itself. Also want to take in consideration how much forgiveness you want to make your button. Some buttons need to be really tight for just on display. Some buttons need to be loose to be able to connect with that loop. Okay, so getting back to how to sew on a button specifically. So you would take your needle and you would go on the back side of your fabric. And you would find your hole, making sure that you line up where you want it. So sometimes it's easier just to poke your needle through, like you can see there, and then set your button right on top, holding your button into place. And then you're going to pull through, and then you're going to go from the top edge down, just like so. And you're going to repeat that motion for a couple of times until they're good and strong. This case, I don't need to worry about how to give some freeway on the button itself, loose, to be able to be loose. I'm just looking at this purpose just to get a button on a piece of fabric. Okay, so there's the top. Now I'm going to take my bottom of my needle and feed right back up to the top. Just like so. Couple more times. There you go. Just like that. You could also crisscross, going diagonal or neighbor to neighbor, side by side. You could also go in this direction, but this is nice and secure. To close it off, you'll flip over your fabric. You'll create a circle with your thread, just like this. And to come back through, you're going to pick up just a slight little bit of your fabric, if you can see there, and pull through. As you do this, you kind of want to hold your circle kind of tight, and you can see where it's starting to close. What that does is just creates a knot and closes it off. And just like that, you have sewn on a button. I'm going to take the scissors and trim off my thread. There we go. We have just sewn a button. I would like to challenge you to be creative when you sew on your buttons. Sometimes it's nice to have some matching thread and button, but others it's fun to be creative and use different colors fabric. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and be sure to check out Missouri 4-H and Platte County 4-H on Facebook and websites.